My beloved child, you once thought your silence meant defeat, but now you see it was the silence of mastery, the deep calm of one who has already faced the storm and no longer fears it. The people who tried to harm you believed they were shaping your ending, but they were only assisting in the unveiling of your beginning. What they used to wound you became the instrument through which I revealed your essence. Every difficulty was not destruction, but construction. I was not tearing you apart. I was carving you into form. Each tear was a seed, and now the garden of your spirit blooms quietly, fragranced by faith, watered by endurance. Those who mocked your stillness now witness what true resilience looks like. The strength that does not shout, the courage that does not demand recognition, the grace that endures in peace. They misjudged you because they judged by appearances. They saw only the surface, your words, your gentleness, your outward calm, and concluded you were easy to dismiss. They failed to perceive the ancient strength resting beneath your humility. For humility, my child, is not the absence of power. It is power under perfect control. What they mistook for weakness was actually reverence. You refrained from striking back not because you lacked ability, but because you had learned the sacred art of restraint. You understood that I defend those who refuse to defend themselves in anger. You chose endurance over retaliation, compassion over vengeance. You kept your integrity intact when bitterness was tempting. And this choice, quiet, unseen, steady, echoed louder in eternity than any argument could. They cannot comprehend how peace can exist after pain. They do not understand how joy can still grow from ashes. That is because they have never been through the refining fire as you have. You, my beloved, walked through seasons that stripped away everything false. The need for approval, the dependence on validation, the illusions of control. What remained was your essence, unshakable and radiant. Now you understand that true elevation happens in silence. I did not raise you in the sight of crowds. I raised you in the depths of surrender. You were trained in quiet places, where no one clapped for your perseverance, where your tears fell unseen except by me. And now, every time you choose peace instead of anger, forgiveness instead of revenge, you are demonstrating that training. Those who tested you did not realize they were participating in their own revelation. Their cruelty exposed their lack of depth. Their deceit revealed their emptiness. You didn't need to expose them. They exposed themselves in contrast to your endurance. What they once ridiculed, your calm, your gentleness, your patience, are now the very traits that haunt them, because they cannot replicate them. It troubles them that your peace cannot be broken. It confuses them that your hope remains steady. It terrifies them that the same storms that shook them only strengthened you. They have come to see that you are not simply lucky or clever, but anchored in something they cannot access through effort alone. That anchor is me, beloved. You are steady because you rest in my presence. You are whole because you no longer seek completion from others. You have become a mirror of divine patience, a living example that pain does not always destroy. Sometimes it purifies. In their pride, they believed they could control outcomes. But control belongs to me. And in trying to bend you, they only revealed your flexibility. You did not break. You bowed gracefully and rose again, refined. Now their hearts wrestle with regret, even if they cannot name it. The peace that once made them dismiss you now convicts them of what they lack. This is not to make you feel superior, my child. It is to show you how grace works, quietly, powerfully, righteously. Grace is not passive. It is potent. It transforms enemies into witnesses, pain into revelation, and silence into testimony. You have become a walking testament of this truth. Those who once looked down upon you now look inward and find no peace. They replay their actions and wonder why unease follows them. But do not rejoice in their discomfort. Instead, pray for their awakening. Your purpose was never to destroy them, but to awaken them. The light you carry exposes what was hidden not to condemn, but to heal. When people encounter a soul refined by divine fire, they feel both drawn and unsettled. They sense the difference. That quiet authority that comes from walking through shadows and finding light there. They sense holiness not as arrogance but as presence. That is why they cannot forget you. You stir remembrance in them, a memory of the divine they have long ignored. My beloved one, this is your sacred work, to remind the world of what it has forgotten. Not through preaching but through being, not through noise but through presence. Your peace itself is a message. Your endurance is a sermon. Your stillness is a sanctuary. The forces of darkness know your name now, not because you sought attention, but because you survived what was meant to silence you. You are not feared because of strength in your hands, but because of light in your spirit. You are not powerful because you command. You are powerful because you remain unmoved. You have already conquered what many still flee: rejection, misunderstanding, solitude. You have walked through the dark valley and learned that I was with you all along. That is why you no longer fear. The worst already came and you endured. And from that endurance, a new authority was born. One not learned from books or bestowed by people, but gifted through intimacy with me. So walk in peace, my beloved. Let your calm remain unbroken. Do not explain yourself to those who cannot yet see. The proof of your path is your peace. The world may not understand it, but heaven recognizes it. You carry the fragrance of endurance, the light of one who has met truth face to face. Remain gentle, remain steadfast, remain free. For the same grace that once held you in secret will now place you where your quiet strength becomes a beacon for others, still wandering in shadow.